Hello everyone and welcome back to another high-level match of StarCraft 2. Today it's time for a best of 5 series of Terran versus Protoss, because this particular match, it's the grand finals of the KSL, the Korean StarCraft League, number 13. Spawning right here in the top right corner. Playing with the blue Terran SCVs, we have none other than Oliveira. His opponent in the opposite corner with the red Protoss probes, he goes by the name of herO. 13. 1, 2, Polizei, 3, 4, Brigadier. Anyways. Guys, I could talk to you in German for hours. My Deutsch is nicht so good. But there are a lot of German viewers. So, you know, maybe one day. I think I'd rather do a cast in German than I would in Dutch. Over the years, many people have suggested I would do a full commentary at some point in Dutch. I feel like the Dutch one would be very cringe. The German one would be even worse, because my German sucks. But you know, we could try. Anyways, guys, I heard that this particular series is an absolute banger. Lots of people have reached out to me and mentioned that apparently this finals is really good. It was played earlier this week, at the very least as of me casting this. I'm not exactly sure when I'll be publishing this video, but I've heard that this is a rather cheesy series where both players decide to get a little bit aggressive. Or at least one of them. I don't know, sure. We'll figure it out together. I don't know who ends up winning this. The only thing I know is that apparently we're gonna get some aggression going on. So far though, nothing all too crazy. We should be seeing a Nexus, there we go. 20 supply Cybercore into a 20 supply Nexus. Pylon coming up on the back of this too, a 20 supply, okay. Now we're going back into probes, interesting. And we'll probably see that second gas geyser here taken very shortly. There it goes. Standard opener right here from herO. His opponent in the meantime has decided to go for a barracks. Of course, we've got ourselves a refinery already done. Orbital command as quickly as possible. And now we've gone into a command center on the low ground as well. Alright, nothing all too weird just yet. Now, I heard that game number 1 between these two is actually very spicy. So, I heard that this series is pretty spicy, right? A lot of cheese. And then I heard that apparently game number 1 was really good. So, I kind of put 1 and 1 together in my head. Then I figured that game number 1 would be cheesy. But not the case. Stargate opener right here from herO. We've seen him play this a million times. Give or take a million. If you round it up to a million, it'll be a million. If you round it down, however, it'd be 0. Depending on where you'd round down. I don't know how many times I've seen him play a Stargate, but if I were to make a guess, an educated guess of how many times I've seen herO play a Stargate opener, not just against Terran, but also against Zerg and against Protoss, I'm gonna say 500 times. 500 times. Yeah. Probably more, to be honest. I don't actually know. Somebody asked that the other day on stream, like, how many games of StarCraft 2 have you watched and how many have you played? Now, figuring out how many you've played, I guess, is doing a little bit of math. You can just log into your different accounts, different servers, add all of the numbers together. I don't really know exactly what the number is, because I didn't. But how many games did I watch? How many do you think I've watched? Let me know down below in the comment section of this video. I have absolutely no idea. I've been casting this game for many, many years. And before I casted this game, I was, well, watching the game every day. It's been 13 years. I don't know, man. My life's kind of been dominated with StarCraft 2 for a very long time now. Let me know your best guess down below in the comment section. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Anyways, Oracle right here into a Phoenix. So that's a pretty interesting one. Adept over here trying to be annoying as well. Normally you wouldn't commit with the Adept, but now of course since the Oracle's around too, don't lose it. Okay. Lose it. He's trying his best to deal as much damage. That Oracle got 0 kills. At least the Adept got a bit of damage done, but honestly nothing all too crazy. Now immediately Oliveira, the current world champion of StarCraft 2, is going to counter. Did herO see that? No, he did not see the medevac, so he's going to send these units across the map. Adepts though, shading in. There is 1 Marine over here waiting. Actually, there may have been 2 Marines, I just didn't notice. No, I think it was 1 Marine, and now a couple more are joining in the fray as well. 2 SCVs have gone down, nothing all too crazy. 1 Adept also falls. Medevac in the main base. Phoenix waiting over here, but not in the right position. Widowmine just simply walks a little bit. No. Okay, that was not ideal. Don't think you want to be walking your... That was a very strange little interaction. I don't think you want to be walking your probes. A hot take here. I don't think you want to be walking your probes into a Widowmine. I know. For more expert advice, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I upload new StarCraft videos pretty much every day. Maybe at some point I'll be posting Stormgate videos as well, though. We'll see, guys. Kind of excited for that game, actually, but that'll be a subject for another time. Robo Bay right now on the back of this, so it is going to be Phoenixes into Colossus. Not something that herO actually plays that much against Terran lately, but we've seen Classic play this. And some other Terran players like Showtime, a bunch of other Europeans are also a fan of this style. I would say, though, that herO's very best matchup, or as far as, like, you know, good players go against Terran, PvT right now seems to be a little bit shaky. Yeah, herO or maybe MaxSpecs is probably the best when it comes to taking down Terrans, and both herO and MaxSpecs usually play a Stalker-based army with a lot of aggression. So herO, at the very least, playing it a little bit differently here in game number 1 of this series. Immortal into a Colossus. Okay. So we'll be getting the Colossi very soon. Only 3 Phoenixes really remain, though, and this is where things get a bit, yeah, a little bit scary right here for the Protoss, right? Because Terran's gonna be hitting that big power spike here momentarily. Stimpack, combat shields, +1 infantry weapons. It's an absolute classic. We've seen this many, many times as well. And it's up to the Terran player to try and, yeah, deal damage to the Protoss. Protoss has already lost quite a bit, though. Like, Terran, yeah, lost a bunch of SCVs. Nothing all too crazy. Is that another Phoenix going down? It is. 3 Marines, really, is the only thing that has weakened this particular attack. So Oliveira is ready to hit his opponent with a hammer. Like, he's been cooking up a hammer here for the last couple of minutes. And now he's ready to strike. Strike while the Protoss is hot, as they say. Not a whole lot of Marauders in the mix, though. The longer he waits, the harder this is going to be. In about 30 seconds from now, maybe a little bit less even, we'll have another one of those laser giraffes. In the meantime, herO has decided to go for a proxy. Okay, Oliveira not really committing to the aggression. Instead, he's just fired up a 3rd command center. I think he really could have committed. Definitely not the cleanest early game right there from herO, but it's scary, right? This is also very scary, though. I don't know if herO picked up on the fact that a bunch of medevacs just... Oh, that is so dangerous. Well, that could have been a disaster for Oliveira, but now I think it's going to just turn into a bit of a disaster right here for our Protoss player instead. He can, of course, recall. Protoss has access to the Control-Z button. Are we going to commit? Oh my god, we're going to... Okay, we're not going to hit Control-Z. We're going to go for a full-on attack. A lot of Widow Mines already here. The gateways have been shut down. The rest of the Bio army has moved on over to watch the 3rd base here at the bottom of the map. Okay, Colossi are roasting as many SCVs as possible, but Oliveira has taken off. He's like, yep, I'm out. There are Phoenixes, of course, available. Probes decide to evacuate this location, too. Look at that. SCVs passing a bunch of probes here that are also seeking refuge on the other side. herO takes control of his opponent's natural expansion. In the meantime, though, Oliveira is destroying all of the opponent's stuff. There you go. Both, well, actually, no, all 3 Nexi at this point are gone. That means that herO, well, okay, I see. Game number 1 is a bit of a banger, huh? That means that herO would be revealed if it wasn't for this Nexus right over here. We've got probes taking down the structures that are left over. This game, this series, it's starting off with a bang. Oliveira, though, doesn't really look like he wants to continue playing this in a macro-focused state, okay? As far as army goes, 61 army supply here for the Terran. 31 supply caught up in SCVs. herO has got 56 supply for army. And then 41 in probes. Yeah, the 2 Colossi, though, and the 3... Yeah, the Phoenixes are also really nice. It's actually kind of difficult to predict who would win in a fight between these 2 right now. Okay, eventually that +1 infantry weapons and armor is going to finish. We have one more supply depot here that will be destroyed. I actually think... I thought it was Oliveira who was going to go for an attack. But I actually think it's going to be herO who will go on the offensive. Okay, that's a little bit sloppy. Losing a Phoenix right there. Really shouldn't be happening. Okay, we're going to try and bait the rest of those Widow Mines. You'll love to see it. Stalker also ends up going down. Once again, we have another counterattack, though. Keep in mind, the win condition in the game of StarCraft 2 is to destroy all of your opponent's structures. SCVs right here with the body block, not allowing those probes to go in. We decide to go for the recall right now. Can he kill it? He decides to go for the surround on that Nexus. He will be able to shut down those Colossi. Easy peasy. Oliveira. with an absolute banger of an engagement, wins game number 1. Babylon, map number 2. Or map number 2. Pretty insane engagement right there. I think Oliveira could have sniped the Nexus, at which point that recall would be cancelled. However, he looked at that, he's like, you know what? I don't think I want to do that. Because when your opponent recalls units, it's very difficult to predict where they're gonna appear, right? Like, I mean, you have like a square, let's call it a square, where you can recall, say, for example, that. Where do those units appear around the Nexus when the recall completes? So Oliveira looked at it, he's like, you know what, I could kill the Nexus, but I can also just wrap around my own army to mitigate as much of the splash damage there from the Colossi as possible. Really good stuff. Alrighty, game number 2, we find ourselves on Babylon, like I said, and we've got a straight 1-1-1 right here from Oliveira, actually. No command center at all. This is a 1-base play right here. herO has not gone for any scouting whatsoever, opening up with his beloved Blink upgrade. Fair enough. He needs to be incredibly cautious. He doesn't know that this is a 1-base Terran. 1-base Terran doesn't really happen, though, in 2023. I mean, apparently it does, but... oh no, this could actually just be a disaster in the making. Okay, so... I thought we were gonna go for another medevac and then drop the siege tanks as well, but we're going for a Viking on the back of this instead. Huh? We're just gonna walk? Oh, we're gonna bring SCVs as well. Okay, so we're gonna try and slow push, I guess? Well, at this point, you should see the timing of the medevac. That medevac timing is weird, man. You're not expecting a medevac on your side of the map already. I think you might want to double down on the pylon situation here at the absolute minimum, herO. Yeah, that's a pylon over there, but like everything's powered by this one pylon here. This pylon is here to rule them all. That pylon's there to find them and in the darkness, well, bind all of these gateways and things. Oh no. Is this just a 1-base all-in? Is that what we're doing? I guess Oliveira looked at the previous game. He's like, you know what? My opponent seems to have an obvious weakness. Let me show you how it's done, baby. All Terran players right now, yeah, playing a more defensive game. Oliveira's like, you know what? I don't really need to do that. Next up, we find ourselves on Neo Humanity. Oliveira trying to speedrun this grand finals. He's already on match point. herO decides, you know what? Maybe going for a probe scout is not a horrible plan. StarCraft always a game about limited information. It's difficult to decide what you should do, and well, sometimes you find yourself playing a little bit too greedy, right? When you cut too many corners, life does become a little bit difficult. Okay, there's now enough minerals for a command center. Oliveira does know that command centers can fly, right? This is not a hatchery, mate. You can just make it anywhere and then, you know, fly it over there when it's done. I think Terrans don't like flying their command centers, man. I think it's like a hit to the gut or whatever. They don't like it, man. It's a hit to their testosterone production whenever I have to, you know, say, for example, God forbid, this command center would have started right over here. He'd make the orbital and then fly off, fly it back down. That would be, oh my god, the Terran player's worst nightmare. They're always rather dancing with the probe and starting up the command center at 500 minerals, which, you know, is a pretty significant delay, than, you know, make the flight of shame. Nobody wants to see another man make the flight of shame. It'd be embarrassing. herO doesn't have that problem, though. He can't fly. Well, you know, not with Nexi, anyways. He can make War Prisms, for example. Those can fly. Technically, High Templar, I guess, fly. Archons also, you know, fly. These units, though, they have legs. Pretty sick, right? Maybe herO himself can fly. I mean, I've met herO at many tournaments. Last time I saw him must have been in Poland. He could not fly at the time, in case you were wondering. Okay, the command center is... I still feel like this is mispositioned, actually. Maybe Oliveira is gonna have to make the flight of shame. I feel like there's too much space over there. Really funky situation now. Once again, by the way, blink opener. Oliveira also now being scouted in his natural. An insane situation. It really does feel like this is less space over here than we have on the other side of the map, right? I'm not sure if it's the lighting or if the command center is actually misplaced. Maybe though, Oliveira knows that he is misplaced it, but he doesn't want to make the flight of shame because, you know, testosterone levels. You know what I mean? Could be. You never know. The Reaper just scouted that there is a proxy pylon over here on the other side of the map. This is the build, by the way, that herO is very good with. So this is one of the strategies that he uses time and time again, but it's also one that is very easy to fail. If you make one little mistake, GG, it's game over. Like, quite literally, it's very easy to mess up your control and to accidentally get a little overly aggressive. Like, for example, here. Luckily for him, there was a robo facility built. But he was definitely planning on doing his first round of warpins from that pylon over here. Not gonna happen. Prop over here now getting scouted too, and Oliveira is looking strong. Very nicely done right here by the world champ. I mean, we shouldn't be surprised, of course, that the world champ just, you know, 3-4 months after winning the world championships is looking strong. But yeah, he's looking really good actually. Okay, now Blink is done though. Not the best of starts. Yeah, he's missing a round of units. Reaper here trying to be as obnoxious as possible too, just trying to buy time. Honestly, I casted that series between herO and Oliveira a couple of days ago, right? I don't really want to spoil it for you, but I'll go ahead and leave a link to it down below in the description of this video. As long as I don't forget. Sometimes I say that and I forget. Just shout at me in the comment section if you need to. If I forget, that is. You can still shout at me if you need to, it's fine. But in any circumstance, just go and shout at me, it's fine. I honestly was very impressed by Oliveira in that series. I don't really want to spoil the result of the series for you, but especially game number 2, he looked incredibly good. Best non-Korean Terran? Always a difficult call to make. That would mean that he'd be better than Clem. Better than Special. Better than herO Marine. Better than quite a few other players. But I think he probably is, yeah. Especially in tournament settings. Like, I would say in raw skill. Okay, this is kind of interesting over here. I would say in raw skill, Clem is actually the best of the names I just mentioned, but... Oh, it's in range. No! Is he gonna get out? He's gonna get out. Control Z! Must be nice to have a Control Z button, man. Protoss players. Overextend. Oh, no, never mind. Overextend. Ah, never mind. Not overextended anymore. No defense at home. F2 too hard. Oh, no, never mind. F2 too hard. Not a problem. He's going into the Templar archives, by the way. Interesting. It seems to me that High Templar play is very unpopular right now. Mostly because of the popularity of, well, the Ghost. We see Ghosts all the time. But not usually with this particular tech that herO is playing against right now. So he's playing against a... yeah, triple Rex start. Nothing all too crazy. 1-1. Or, sorry, not 1-1. Combat shield, stim pack. Even concussive shells, +1 missile? Sure. I mean, technically, sure. All finishing up. This is a big power spike right here for Oliveira. But we do have storms available. How many Templar do we have? We've got 3 of them. One of them already throwing little water balloons. He doesn't have energy yet. Okay, there we go. High Templar coming in from the back. Archon gets morphed in as well. And that is an easy cleanup right there for the South Korean Protoss. Those Widow Mines still putting in quite a bit of work, though. Getting the 1 medevac would be sweet. Not gonna happen. Ooh, big counterattack. herO apparently immediately trying to capitalize on this. Are we gonna... yeah, we're just gonna use those High Templar as High Templar. So we're gonna accumulate energy inside of the prism. It's a little bit of a safety right there for EMP as well if the opponent does decide to go into Ghost production. Which... at this point, yeah, he's starting to transition up. But there's no third command center yet, so it's difficult to attack into this. Can you really push into this? I mean, you can try and elevator your way into the main. Come out and play, Oliveira. Come out, wherever you are. herO now starting up his own 3rd Nexus. Okay, Okay, big storms here, actually. He's trying to break it. He hasn't started up his third Nexus yet, by the way, so he's running out of juice. Prism is gone. That kind of sucks, but good storms here overall. Whenever you see SCVs embracing the might of an Archon, you know, life is just about to get really scary. Archon, though, has gone down, but loads of SCVs are dying. Rather than taking a Nexus and trying to obtain the economic advantage that way, we see herO destroying his opponent's economy, which puts him in a great position here overall. Then again, though, you gotta be very careful, right? The Prism is coming back around the map, but the Mule is incredible. We have another pylon apparently built here on the other side of the map. Stalker's trying to cut off those units as well. We have a medevac getting sniped. Another medevac goes down. Aggressive blink forward right there from herO. The Immortal still trying to put in some work. This guy has already tanked a lot of damage. His brother has already fallen in battle. Good split right there. Okay, yeah. No, I think that just sealed the deal. I mean, now Ghosts show up, and Ghosts are still good, but not really the unit you need. Okay, big warp in over there once again. Still difficult to close this out, but I do think this is looking fantastic right now for herO. It's easy to overstay, though. Yeah, if he walks his army accidentally into a Widowmine, life does get very tricky. Nice little bit of pickup micro here as well by Oliveira, trying to pretend that he's got a Prism of his own. Good force fields, though. Really lovely force fields. Those Zealots charging from behind. We do have some Templar available, too. He doesn't know if he's got enough Storm, and I think now he's getting there. He almost has enough Storm. 11 additional SCVs have gone down. There's the Storm. Okay, that certainly is going to be too much. GG is called. herO gets a point on the board. Dragon Skills, map 4. Match point number 2 right here for Oliveira. We once again had a Probe Scout, by the way. Probe was in the main base. A Reaper was rallied on top of it, but then herO decided to recall. Anyways, quick double gas opener right here from Ollie. He decides to go for the command center inside of the main base after the factory, so no Stranger 1 base all in or anything along those lines. Twilight Council opener once again for herO. Unsurprisingly, this is his bread and butter. Or as they say in Germany, his Bratwurst und Bier. It's the German equivalent. Got ourselves a shield battery over here at the front as well, just to be 100% safe. I think herO is done taking chances, man. Are we just gonna go straight blink again? He's like, look, I wanted to play spicy games here, okay? I wanted to play some creative strategies, but there we go. It takes two to play that game, man. Oliveira, he's the one that ruined it. Yeah, just go for the straight up blink upgrade. I really don't mind it. I think it's a great choice. In the meantime, on the other side of the map, we've got ourselves a 1-1-1, of course. Command center is going to be flying down towards the low ground here momentarily. Okay. Robo facility coming up again at the conventional time. We'll probably see a observer. He could go for a proxy pylon again too if he wants to. Observer's of course very helpful though for that high ground vision. One cheeky little Widowmine going very far forward. Not exactly sure where you're going. Where are you going, little Widowmine? Oh! Hey, there it is. That was very close. But excellent execution right there from herO. There's gotta be at least one person watching this that is like, what? You can do that? Yeah, you can do it. Trust me though, when you give it a try in your own games, you're gonna fail miserably. I don't want to be a jerk to you, okay? But I have tried it myself many a times and it goes poorly almost every time. That adept just sacrificed itself. Now it's very, very difficult to get the timing just right. Nice little medevac drop though. Imagine it with a Widowmine in the mix, you know? It'd be pretty sick. Okay, well, another Widowmine that is. We've got ourselves quite a few losses right now already though on the side of the Terran. This is all on a timer, man. Blink is gonna finish up very soon. Yeah, Protoss is already moving across the map. He's done, man. He doesn't want to sit around here for that much longer. Careful now, Oliveira. It's time to get out. Ollie knows the exact timing where Charge and Blink should finish up. I think it's like 4:47? Something like that. Depends on the amount of times, of course, that have, you know, chrono boosted the Twilight Council, but 4:45 you should be concerned. herO was a little bit late, but it finished up in time for him to get the medevac, and that now suddenly puts the ball back in his court. There is a high ground over here. Oliveira is protecting the low ground area, which makes a lot of sense. Bunker over here, he sees the Marines, he sees the siege tank. I think, yeah, going around the back here is the way to go. Oh, Widow Mines. Or, sorry, Widow Mines. Stalkers, almost the same. Gets all of the flying units right here, though, which is just amazing. Ravens no longer here around. We're once again going into the Templar Archives. That is interesting. Really haven't seen a lot of Templar Archive play over the last, well, while. He didn't go charge, by the way. He did go charge, by the way. But it's not done yet here. Yeah, it's difficult to make this decision. I was gonna say, I don't think you want to make that call. If you need high ground, I think you should probably use the Observer. Prism going around the back here again. The Protoss reach around. You love to see it. Picking up the weakened ones. Of course, only after the siege tank would be able to fire once again. Careful now. Alright. Alright. It's a dicey situation. But you can see, these stats over here, they don't lie. With good control, you can get an absurd amount of damage done. Templar Archives, researching Storm. A little bit late to the party, but as long as it finishes here eventually, it's go time. I mean, he needs a bunch of energy on the Templar anyway, so as long as he keeps up the chrono boost, he should be okay. We've had a lot of gateways here too, by the way. Yeah, so rather than going for a third Nexus here, he decides to go 7 gates. That's a lot of, or actually even 8 gateways. So he's going for an all-in. herO would normally be expending behind this. He's now pushing into a Terran who's finishing up Stimpack and Combat Shield. +1 infantry, not too far behind. That's when Terran is gonna hit a significant improvement. The thing is though, with 8 gateways, yeah, you can warp in an absurd amount of units very rapidly. Okay, here we go. No, this is not the time to go, Oliveira. Oliveira, hoping he can get the Prism. The Templar are hiding inside of that. They decide to rain down the Storm from the high ground. Careful now, my man. He still just decides to fly over the bio anyways. Like, he's not gonna do it. I mean, if he takes the bait, fine. I'll be able to get away in time. GG is called. And herO continues his comeback. And that takes us to Gresven, the final game in his best of 5 series. Oliveira was leading 2-0. herO has evened up the score 2-2, and now he starts off this game over here by sending out a probe right at the very start. Oliveira hasn't really been doing a lot of scouting other than with Reapers, so maybe there's something he can do about it, because this is a little bit funky for sure. I mean, he's putting the pylon in the middle of nowhere. It's not even particularly close to Terran either, right? I mean, it's a little closer, I suppose, but yeah, this is gonna be weird. When the Reaper gets across the map, assuming it's a Reaper opener here from Oliveira, he's not gonna find a whole lot inside of the main base of the Protoss, which may very well suit the Reaper just fine, but we'll have to see exactly what herO's plan is going to be. Obviously, he needs a Cyber Core as well. Cyber Core needs to, well, have a pylon powering it, so I'm assuming he's gonna send out another probe here momentarily, or yeah, he's gonna make it inside of the main base, fair enough. Gonna go for a bit of a faster second pylon instead. Okay. This does mean that herO is not planning on expending super quickly here. Or at least he will likely not be building an expansion as fast. There's the Cyber Core coming up. There's also a Zealot being chrono boosted. Not considered to be one of the best units in the early game. A Reaper starts up. Probe Scout, by the way, here. Ooh, nice. A little bit of mineral walking. Probe Scout over here at the conventional timing, so not something that Oliveira can really read too much about. Now we're gonna play... Oh no! We didn't block the expansion! Oh no, what? That's horrible. I definitely didn't want you to take this. Good acting skills right there on that probe. Nobody noticed his play. Second Zealot is coming up too, but only a single gateway. What in the world, man? I'm actually a little confused about this build here from herO. It's just gonna be 2 Zealots and an Adept? That's the plan? Now, Oliveira is scouting. Ooh, okay, he just barely does not see those Zealots. Nexus on the low ground eventually. Is this a build just designed to try and kill the natural? Is that the whole plan? Is this like a strange mech specs? I guess it is a strange mech specs. Yeah. Interesting. Really? I was gonna say. Really feel like we should at the very least try and get the SCV over there. Keep in mind, Terrans rely on this base to finish up, not just for, well, economy, but also for supply. Good chance he's gonna be forced to cancel that here eventually, although I really thought he would go a little bit more aggressively after the command center itself, but not quite the case. Instead, the Adept is just trying to be as annoying as possible. There's another Adept coming across. Keep in mind, this is one base, one gate. He could have got multiple gateways here if he wanted to. Command center did get cancelled, by the way. Oliveira really needs a supply depot. There he gets fired up. He'll probably make a command center here later on too, but you never know exactly how much they're committing. We're still just warping in one unit at a time. A robo facility on the back of this inside of the main base. Okay. Yeah. So earlier on in the series, herO got punished for not scouting aggressively. Right? Oliveira decided to do a one-base play. herO immediately lost. Apparently, herO now looked at the game that Oliveira's been playing. He's like, wait a second, you're criticizing me for, you know, not scouting aggressively in the early game, but you're basically doing the same thing. Great Reaper grenade over there, but also hurting quite a few of the Terran units. Eventually, though, it does look like Oliveira is going to be able to wiggle his way out of here. The problem is, now he doesn't have a command center. So, no CC done right here for the Chinese Terran. So that means that this push that he's got coming up right now is becoming very critical. One thing to keep in mind is that, well, this is very easy to shut down. That's like half of the production that our Protoss currently has. I think an Immortal would not be misplaced, or a Prism. Yeah, just anything here. Okay, we're gonna pull at least some of the boys as well. This is now an attack, though, with only a single siege tank, and that one is still on the production tab. Yeah, a single Banshee, a single siege tank. I don't think I like this push here as much from Oliveira. Maybe he wants to just set up shop for a little bit, and that's fine. Prism here is sweet, with good control. Yeah, Stalkers do outrange it, as long as you have detection. Banshee in the main base, trying to be annoying, but not getting any work done, because Stalkers were defensively warped in there as well. Stalkers, of course, with their 4 legs, they run a little bit faster than those Marines with only 2. Siege tank, though? Okay, does fire here eventually, and herO turns around immediately. Very quick right there. He now sees the natural, though, and he sees that it's fully saturated, and this must be the moment where your heart sinks. Yeah, he decides to pull more SCVs. I mean, you see full mineral line saturation. You know that if you decide to expand on the back of this right now, it's gonna be ages until you be able to catch up in economy, so we're gonna go for one big attack. He probably wants to get charged for Blink. I was gonna say, that's ages away. I think this game will be decided before any of those Twilight Council upgrades could ever finish up. herO trying to deal as much damage as he possibly can. Hopefully even trying to force a siege up or something along those lines. The longer that this game goes on, the better it's gonna be for him, because his eco will kick in, but he needs to be careful about the siege tanks. Siege tanks do decide to siege up. I think this is a pretty darn good position, though. I love that battery overcharge, trying to micro the weakened units back to the safety of the shield battery. One tank has gone down. Another tank, though, constantly shooting volley after volley. More Immortals coming up. More Stalkers warped in. Excellent start to this particular fight right here for herO. The siege tanks are the scariest units. As long as those do not get out of control, life is gonna be okay. I think he's gonna try again. He's thinking about it at the very least. 2 Immortals inside of the plane, by the way. Don't lose the Prism. Okay, siege tank number 2 also shows up. I guess technically siege tank number 3. They're out of range, though. Yeah, they're not quite in range of shooting all of those Terran or all of those Protoss structures right now. Apparently, this is the moment, though, where Oliveira is gonna be forced to defend. The Immortals trying their very best. Target firing down the tanks. Excellent micro right there by the Korean Protoss. And despite being 2-0 behind at the start of this series, it's herO who obtains the victory in the KSL 13.